Welcome to this timeless reading. This is designed to help you connect to deeper levels of truth, faith, trust, and bring it all out into your life, into your business, into whatever area, well, the cards will reveal to us, so that you can really, truly live a life of magic and meaning. Thank you for joining me today. I trust that if you have been called to this space and if the messages resonate, this is meant for you. And I always really set the intention for myself that when I do these, that it is deeply grounded in not just divine messages and to be a channel, but to really curate it in a way that's going to serve you into implementing and taking action and embodying this work. I am a tarot reader. I am a spiritual life coach. I am a creative entrepreneur. And it matters to me so, so much that any work that I do is truly here to serve you, help you, guide you to create a better life. This isn't fluff. It is all about coming into deeper faith with self, soul, and source and bringing it into your life. So genuinely, you are living a life that feels as magical as the one you dream about at nighttime. So let's dive into it. I did some pre-shuffle. I've got a million decks in front of me, and the energy coming through already is super interesting. And what I'm about to share with this energy will let you know if this reading is meant for you. So you might feel a calling of, yes, 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 I need that clarification. You might feel a soul resonance of like, I don't quite know why, but I just know, a soul deep knowing that this is meant for me. Or maybe there is something that has called you here, that it's keeping you here, and you just feel curious to continue. Lean into that as well. So without further ado, let me start to reveal the energy for today's reading. And then we're going to actively pull some cards to go deeper, to go wider, to go further, and to help you integrate whatever comes up and through today. And just a little note, please let me know, like, what has come up for you in the comments. Feel welcome to to subscribe, to share, to do all the things to show that this is landing, this is resonating, and I would just love and appreciate that. So here we go. I'm going to start with some words. That's what I'm really feeling called to say. These are like little guiding stars. Does this land? Does it resonate? Does it linger? Conflict, but learning lessons. Commitment and keeping the faith. Home and building foundations. Detox, release, allow, let go. Light, light at the end of the tunnel. The reason I start with those words, the reason I start with those messages is because they are an invitation in. They are a way for you to connect on a soul level, on a deeper level, on an energetic level to the messages coming up and through. The energy that is present here very much at the moment, it's almost a very interesting duality of so much potential and so much faith and so much commitment, and like there is power here. And yet at the moment, it is ungrounded. It is untethered. It is almost like you've called in all this energy, you've called in all this passion. Maybe at the moment when you're watching this or just this season of your life, you're feeling so much inspiration, but it's kind of like there's nowhere for you to pour it. It's like you have all this water, but no cup to hold it. You have all this good intention, but no way to share it, to show it, to show up for it. So that's the disconnect I'm feeling at the moment. So connecting inward, seeing if this is resonating, seeing if this is landing. Right now, there's no clarity on whether this is to do with a relationship, your health, your business, your finances. So it's very much feeling relevant in all areas of life. This is very much a general reading. This is very much like large scope collective energy, but already I'm seeing a narrowing and a focusing. If you are sick of feeling like you could do, but you're not, and if you're worried about time slipping away, if you're feeling that kind of nervous energy of, if I don't get started now, will I fall behind? Will I miss out? Will I not make the most of it? First of all, Bring in some love and compassion for yourself. You are always doing your best. No one trusts that. No one trusts that. And also we get to show up more focused, more full of faith, and more full of forward momentum and movement. So I very much see today gets to be a portal into a more active way of being in your life, into a more active way of working with your inspiration, working with your passion, working with that part of you that knows that you are meant for greatness, that knows that you are meant for more. All right, seeing if there's any other messages just in this initial energy. I very much also get the sense that there are things that need to be cut out of your life at the moment. So you may already know what they are. If you don't, we will get into it today. Okay. And we might as well start with that energy. So for this initial pull, I'm going to be using the Shadows of Oracle and Light. I just work with the energy. I work with where I'm called. I am an intuitive reader, just like I am an intuitive coach. And it is all about faith. It is all about trust. And this is where we're being called first. So let's just see what opening messages the angels have for us, the guides have for us, the spirits, ancestors, whoever it is that you work with. Know and trust that they are present, connecting, and very, very devoted to helping you live the life of your dreams. We have a carnivorous greenhouse. A tempting offer has a high price. This may be something that needs to be let go of. This may be exactly where you were getting caught up. So seeing if this is landing and resonating. Do you have a story? Do you have a story in your head that everything comes with a price? Everything comes with a cost. There is almost like there is no win because there's so much woe involved in anything. And there is a part of you, a story, a pattern, a conditioning. Maybe it's from family, maybe it's from life experience so far on the path, but there is a deep wounded part. And let's bring love and compassion to that part. There is a deep wounded part that cannot separate the idea of the good and the bad coming equally together. It's almost like, do I want to aim high because I will fall so far? And there's this constant clash of not wanting to actually break out of your shell or succeed or climb the mountain, because there's almost this inevitability of the more celebration, the more devastation that comes afterwards. That is a toxic belief that is eating away at you, eating away at your ability to succeed, eating away at your ability to go all in on your health, on your relationships, on your business, on your career. This is something that is undermining you from the start. So remember that first set of energy that we came across, it was all about, home and setting that foundation. This foundation, as it currently is just not stable. It is not serving you. And it needs, if you were to live the life you truly desire, a life of magic and meaning, it needs to go. And the second card, we have the Nautilus Princess, powerful personal growth. I feel like that's very much in alignment with what I was just banging on about, that this is an opportunity for growth. This is an opportunity for you to really allow, I'm imagining this vision so clearly, allow those toxic conditionings and patterns and stories and whatever has happened in the past, real or imagined, family history or your own, personal timeline history, to sink to the bottom, to be released, to be gone, for the ocean to swallow it up and take it away, do with it what it will. This is your ability to decide, what do you desire to keep close? What do you desire to listen to? And this princess, she's a little bit sad because there is a grieving process and anything that we need to let go of, that we need to release. And yet it is through that grieving that you find your ability to show up more powerful, more purposeful, more passionate, and more able to do what you need to do. So that initial message coming through very strongly, what needs to be released is really the stories that are undermining you going for what you want. an interesting energy to be stepping into already. Let's go to the WildWood Tarot. The reason I chose this one, this is where the message was coming from with the home, with the foundation, with the setting a strong and firm foundation. So I see this as calling us in the direction of like, okay, so we know we need to release some stories. We know we've got some baggage, and that is work that I highly encourage everyone who resonates with that to do. And it can, it can be as simple as getting a pen and paper and asking yourself, being in communion with yourself, like, what is holding us back? What stories do we hold? What do I think about success? If I was to be, as successful as I desire it to be, what do I actually think would be the reality of that? What comes after? What comes next? What am I worried about once I get there? And start that process of inquiry so you can get clarity. That in and of itself might be the biggest gift you give yourself and the biggest gift from this reading today. So if that is what is meant for you, lean in, lean in. This is going to help show us how can we, once we've cleared the air, shed the stories, moved past the wounds, how do we set that foundation strong, stable, secure? Let's find out. All right. These are the cards that want to come out. So on the bottom of the deck, we have the Ace of Arrows, the breath of life. I see this as a breath of fresh air kind of energy. You may wish to do some physical or energetic or both spring cleaning to really allow any dust, any clutter, any baggage, any BS to be cleared from you. You can do this in any way that you feel called to. I often find that sweeping is a really good way, the movement, the energy, and also the fact that there is a inherent cleansing and clearing to that. And just bringing intentionality as I'm clearing this space, I am clearing my space as well, mind, body, and soul. There are plenty of other ways. If you have a really cool one, actually, or if you have just your own personal practice to clear, to cleanse, to release, share it with us below. This could be an awesome opportunity for us all to learn from each other. What do you do? What do you suggest? And you never know, you could give someone the gift of the breath of fresh air, clearing their space, clearing their energy. Alrighty, so the 3 cards that have come up and through is very, very interesting. So we're talking here about how do we set the foundation? How do we set a healthy, strong foundation for whatever comes next once we've let go of the baggage? We've got the Guardian. We've got the 7 of Arrows, insecurity. And then we've got the 9 of Vessels, generosity. All right. A few little messages coming here very quickly, very powerfully, is we need to get real about what's getting in our way. Sometimes it is the stories, and you may have already cleared that, cleansed that, released that. So that's awesome. And then we get to see what are the deeper things holding us back. Sometimes there is a lot of subconscious stuff going on. You may not consciously in this moment realize the depth of sort of the shadows and what is stopping you. Get curious about that. Now, there's plenty of ways to do shadow work. This could be as simple as I see it as a stream of consciousness or a scripting almost. It's just like I've done this with many of my coaching clients, and I, give you the gift of this insight today, if it resonates with you, is you just start to, write down your blocks or write down what you believe is getting in your way, and then ask the question, but what's beneath that? And you just reach, and what's beneath that? And you go down and down and down and down and down until either you genuinely feel like there's nothing left there, or you get as far as you can go. And that's maybe emotionally, maybe it's just time-wise, or perhaps you just sense this is the level where I need to heal, deal, work on next. And then the next time in the future, you can go beyond that. But really just use your intuition, trust yourself with that, go as deep as you can, because these shadows, they block our sight, but they're not dangerous to us. They're an opportunity to know yourself at a deeper level. So I feel like the Guardian is just a bit of a reminder there. There's always more beneath the surface. If you get curious to see it, You can go there, you can find it, you can figure it out. Now, if you feel like you need someone to guide you and support you in that, there are plenty of amazing people that you can work with, or even journey with a friend if you feel called in that direction. The Seven of Arrows insecurity, I think, is really just pointing out one of the ways that you might be blocked. What part of you is just not feeling worthy of maybe setting a healthy foundation or starting again or building something that really matters for yourself, for others, in a business, in a relationship, in your health? What part of you doesn't believe that you're worthy of this, that you're enough, that you can do this? That is an area, that is probably one of the shadows that needs to be examined, that we need to shine a light on so that you can set this foundation. For me, the Nine of Vessels, this generosity card, it's just a reminder to be generous with your love and with your compassion through this process. None of this work is easy. And it might be quick and it might be simple, but when we're working with wounds that may have been there for a very long time, which may have been there generationally, which may have been there beneath the surface and you've never seen, it's difficult. It takes energy, it takes effort, it takes time. So be generous with your self-love, with your self-care, with the way you look after yourself throughout this whole process. And also continue to be generous with your love and compassion for yourself, even outside of this sphere. We don't just have to be nice when we're hurt. We can be nice, we can be loving, we can be compassionate to ourselves at all times. You're worthy of that. All right, so that's going to be a way to help you get clarity on the foundation that needs to be set. Now let's start to talk about commitment. I'm really called to this next deck where the message was coming through in my earlier pre-shuffle, pre-reading about being committed, willing to show up, ready to get going. So this is the Bianco Nero Tarot. It's one of my favorite decks ever. And I love it, love it, love it. So let's see what messages it has for us today. That flung off and hit my microphone. We'll have 3 cards, knowing and trusting that they are going to tell us how we can really commit to a life of magic and meaning. And they gave us 4, but that's all right. A little extra magic. All right, 2 came up upright, 2 came in reverse. So the upright cards, which I really see are the opportunities, the doorways to move through and forward, the 8 of Pentacles and the Ace of Wands. Commitment to a new path and also to a new passion. This is your opportunity to reconnect and rekindle the passion that you have for the work that you want to do in the world. And I don't just mean work as in your 9 to 5 or your business, but work as in the energy that you want to be showing up in your life, the influence you want to have on the people around you, the ripple effect that you know that you can have, family, community, society, when you are truly showing up in the fullness of your power, when you are committed to your growth, when you are committed to living the best life that you can, a life of magic, a life of meaning, a life of, living on your terms, a deep commitment to the practice of this and the activation of this. This might be, and I say might be quite a bit because I know that there are many of you on different paths with different challenges, but at the same time, working on very similar energetic levels. So this commitment piece is a message for everyone here today. So the 8 of Pentacles, committing to progress, committing to perfecting your technique. And I don't mean perfection, I do mean perfecting your technique, getting a little bit better every time. So if you're working on something, maybe it's your health. Let's use that. Maybe it's your health. You're like, I really want to improve my health. That is where I'm committed. That's where I want to devote myself. That's where I need to be generous and loving and caring. And it's not about week 1 losing all the weight, having a perfect having a perfect diet, having a perfect schedule, not feeling a craving at all. It's about getting a little bit better each and every time. So thinking about the baby steps, thinking about what can you do today. And I really feel it's like take it one day at a time, take it one opportunity at a time, one step at a time, one inspired idea at the time. So in this moment, connecting to whatever it is that you're desiring to commit yourself to, maybe it's multiple areas, maybe it's one area in particular. Where can I devote myself today? Where can I commit myself deeper today? What can I work on today? And allow that just to be the question. I had a conversation with a client today and they were just talking about, I want to be 5 steps ahead. I don't want to take the first step. I want to take the 5th step. And it's when we start to project so far forward, we actually project out of our power. And when we think about step 5, when we haven't taken step 1, what we're actually doing is a very sneaky sabotage because we overwhelm ourselves. It's good to have your vision. It's good to know where you're going. It's good to develop a North Star. It's what I work with people on the most, actually, is clarifying your vision. But then when you're actually getting to work, we need to eyes down from the stars and onto the path before us. What is the first step? So be inspired, allow yourself to take the time and allow yourself to take one step at a time. It's going to be the greatest gift. That is the doorway to walk through. That is the opportunity for you to actually make change in your life. Not just, hope, wish, and dream and then not do anything, but actually take steps, actually move forward. Now, these next 2 cards in the reverse, I see them. They came out really interestingly. 2 upright, 2 in the reverse. I see this as what could be blocking you from taking that action. So let's have a look. We have the 6 of Cups and the 5 of Wands. The reason I see these as reverse, as blocks, not just because they're in reverse. It's not always what that means, but I see them as things that can shift your perspective in a way that is difficult for you to move forward. So if you're not looking at what is fulfilling, and if you're focusing on the conflict, this is going to really cloud your vision. It's really interesting because I almost see these together as like the 7 of Cups. It's overwhelmed. There's, so many options. It's a bit of an illusion. It's hard to pick what it is that is calling you when we start to, well, not even start to, when we refuse to get clear on that first step, when we're trying to maybe do too much at once, we're getting overwhelmed, our feelings are running out of control, we're just, it's a lot of fiery action, but it's not a lot of focused action. I think that is probably the clearer message there. Fiery passion, but not a lot of focused action. If you find yourself maybe one day you're super excited about your diet or your business or whatever it is, and then the next day you're completely hopeless, and then the next day you're fiery about, trying something else, and that you never land on one thing. You never allow yourself to commit, to come back to what we're talking about here. You don't allow yourself, subconsciously or consciously, to commit to a path, to commit to a step. That is what might be, probably, let me know if it's resonating, getting in the way of you making progress. Because if we commit to a new path every day, we're only ever taking like 1 or 2 steps. We're not moving forward. We're not getting closer to the North Star. We're constantly at a crossroads and we're always taking a different path, and it's just leading us in circles. All right. So how do we avoid that conflict? Maybe you already got that message through what I was just sharing. Maybe your guides are speaking up and piping up and sharing with you insights for yourself. Make sure you're listening into your own guides as well throughout this process. But how can we more confidently navigate this? So either you skip that conflict, or when you're presented with it, you know exactly how to handle it. We have the 4 of Wands in the reverse. What else? The Justice card and the Knight of Pentacles. Yep, just a beautiful reminder that we need to come back down to knowing our vision, but then focusing on our next best step. That's really what I see here is like, if we want to get to our vision, if we want to get to success, if we want to be able to celebrate, this is taken one step at a time, and we can't avoid the fact that this requires a level of dedication and commitment and patience. Patience is definitely a key word coming through here with these cards. Patience, stability, having a plan, and also knowing when to act. I think, again, with those Bianco Nero cards, fiery passion, but lacking focus. This is what we want to avoid. We want to come into balance, have a clear mind, have a clear plan, be able to hold ourselves to a level of discipline. And that doesn't mean hustle, it means knowing what needs to be done and doing it when it needs to be done. And whatever that looks like, whatever that intensity is completely up to you and your own alignment and preference and energy. And then having patience with the path, being on step one or phase one thinking, as I often call it, rather than worrying about what step 5 or 10 or 50 looks like. That was a Rider-Waite Tarot, by the way. All right, I'm seeing this all come together. It's very, very interesting. There's a lot of growth. There's a lot of opportunities to treat yourself kindly, to fall more in love with yourself and in love with the progress, not just the destination. And also that beautiful reminder as well is like your passion is wasted if we don't have purpose, we don't have focus, and we don't have direction. So I'll give yourself the gift of that clarity. Now we're going to be doing the Work Your Light Oracle. My intention here is some divine messages from guides, from angels, from ancestors, from whoever it is that wishes to speak through me and to you around just whatever needs to be heard here in this moment. So they might be complementary messages. I'm assuming they will be. They always seem to be. But also just allowing them to be exactly what you need to hear today. And let me know how these land and how these resonate. On the bottom of the deck, we have the initiation, rite of passage, crossing the threshold. I see this card and I think it is truly a time of change. This isn't just a light in the dark, it is a light at the end of the tunnel. When you embrace this energy, when you embrace change, when you finally, and we've all done it, so there's no judgment, when you finally give up this obsession with trying to do everything and everything, everything and everything, everything and anything, and commit, which is scary, committing, you will step through the portal. You have passed the trial. You have, done the initiation process, and you're ready to go to the next level. That is the energy that is really, bubbling beneath the surface here. We have awakening, energetic upgrades, a new way of being, integration. Yeah. So once you pass the initiation, which is doing the shadow work, looking at your doubts, looking at your limiting beliefs, reflecting on, what's been maybe catching your attention, that's actually just a distraction, healing, dealing, and being generous with your love and compassion, it's time to awaken. It's time to, not just eyes open, but third eye open, and really look around at your life, really look around at your circumstance, and allow a new perspective to emerge. Allow yourself to see the world, to see your future with fresh eyes. Energetic upgrades, a new way of being, integration. And when you see the signs, follow them, trust them. Integration is one of the most important things in any personal growth journey. There's no point in having a realization if we don't do anything about it. And I think, in this moment, what I'm really hearing is, that is why ignorance is bliss is often said, because once if you're not ignorant, like you know the truth, you see the truth, you feel the truth, you have received the truth, and you do nothing about it, that's painful. It's difficult. It's depressing. It's really hard. So when you see the truth, even if it's radically different, even if it's a radical challenge, even if it's something that's going to require you to commit and step up and, do something hard, something you've never done before, don't turn your back on it. Lean in and remember it's one step at a time. If you have a realization that's going to rock your world, change your life, and head you in a completely new direction, rather than look at the overwhelm of that journey, just come back to what's the next step? What's the next step? That's the gift. The next card, leap. You go first, the universe will catch you. Sometimes the first step is a leap. Sometimes the first step is the hardest step. So leap, trusting the universe will catch you. And when I see leap, it's not like all in one go, quit your job, move like house, sell your car, completely change everything about your life. Leap isn't about being, what's the word I'm looking for? It's not about being reckless with your life, but it's being about radical in your action. If you know something is meant for you and it requires a leap, that's the work to be done. And so often it's the first step that's the hardest. It's the first step that feels like the biggest leap. Come on board with that. Know that. Lean into that. Maybe that's the work you need to do. Maybe this is what it's calling, is just getting ready for the leap, getting ready for the leap, getting ready for the leap. Think about if you're going to make a drastic change in your life, or maybe you already know what that is. Maybe it's been in there for a while. Think about, well, rather than focusing on the leap itself, which is scary, focus on what it's going to take for you to take the leap, for you to get to the edge of the cliff and jump off. Obviously, there's a metaphor. And maybe that's like, I need to do a lot of, self-care work. I need to have systems in place. I need to have a support team around me. I need to go deeper into my spiritual work so I have a deep-centered soul knowing about what I'm doing. And it's greater than the fear. It's greater than the risk. So what does it take for you to take the leap? I think is the work this card is inviting you to do. And the last card here from the Work Your Light Oracle, we have Imrama. Where are you being called to journey to? I didn't look at these cards. Obviously, you show me shuffle them. I love that this has come here. Where are you being called to journey to? All of this reading today, and probably all of the work I really do is about helping you get clear who you are, where you want to go, and how you want to get there. So this question, take this as an offering, take this as a gift, take this as something to reflect on, to get clarity and to get some confidence behind you. Where are you being called to journey to? That might require some meditation. It might require some reflection, or it might require some coaching. It might require you to sit in stillness. It might require you to start some conversations. Do the work. And if you're feeling it in this moment, where you're called to journey to, I'd love to celebrate that with you. Share it with me in the comments below. By the way, if you want personal readings or private coaching with me, or to come and join a beautiful private community where we do energetic check-ins, get support, guidance, alignment, I'll pop that information below as well. So once you're awakened, take the leap, do the work, and keep focused on where you're heading. So I have one more deck that I pulled out today, and we're going to go there next. This is the Magical Herb Oracle. Very beautiful oracle. These are closing messages, final guidance, things that will pop a cherry on top this reading. Courage, progress. One more, please. I'm going to do that again. There we go. Okay, so courage, progress, guidance. Here is our card of courage. This takes courage. This takes a lion heart. This takes an amount of strength that needs to be nurtured. If you're feeling mind, body, soul, not strong, weak, scared, maybe even just like your tank is tapped out. The job here is to refill the tank, to embrace what it is, what's going to give you that courage, what's going to give you that fire, what's going to give you that strength to take the leap and to take action and to dive into the shadows and to do the work and to reach out for help and to share and shine and show up for what it is you truly desire. Courage, courage, courage is the key to the door that we want to be walking through. And that's going to lead to progress. That's going to lead to you seeing those steps, and taking them. We want progress. We want to know, and as humans, we want to know that we are making progress. If you've ever done a job, or if you've ever done any work, or done anything where you either made no progress, or you couldn't tell if you were making progress, or it felt like you weren't making progress, it's disheartening. It drains us, it saps us, it stops us from continuing, because why would we do something that's pointless? That is why so many people who are in a job or in a relationship or in a situation that isn't fulfilling, that feels like it's going nowhere, how it's not necessarily that it's bad, but it is bad for the soul. It is bad for our heart. It is bad for our mind. It is bad for our energy. Personal share, I was a high school teacher for 10 years. Teaching, love it. Kids, love it. I was really good at my job, but I never felt fully fulfilled. Like, I would feel fulfilled in short bursts. I would get all this work done, or I'd create something cool. I would get, the kids really working in it and, doing good stuff, ticking all the boxes. And it fulfilled like the work aspect of me, but it didn't fulfill me internally. And after 10 years, not being fulfilled on a deep emotional heart level, on a soul level, on a passion level, it wears at you and it brings you down. So even though I could say teaching is an excellent profession and I'm doing good work and I'm really helping people and I'm good at my job and I'm making money and I, can travel and do all these different things, even though it was good, it wasn't good for me. So don't discount the power of not only feeling like you're making progress, but making progress towards things that matter to you. That really matters. And that's why I believe we need to be creating lives and creating businesses and creating careers that are magical and meaningful, that are about success, yes, but about having our spirit in it as well. And our final card, which speaks very much to the spirit, which speaks very much to the sacred, which speaks very much to passion, is this card of guidance. Now, I see this as a twofold message. I see this as, if you want to increase your courage and if you want to make progress, then we need guidance. So not only do you need to be able to guide yourself, so know where you're going, know how you want to get there, know the direction you need to be heading in, and the work that it'll take to get there. But you may need to tap into guidance. So readings like this are a beautiful way that I've often used in darker times in my life or difficult transition periods to help me get clear. So maybe the guidance is coming in the forms of readings like this. Maybe the guidance is coming by surrounding yourself with people of a like mindset, a like energy, or perhaps who are on the same path as you. Maybe you're looking for guidance in terms of a coach, a mentor, a spiritual teacher. Maybe there is someone already in your life. And this is just an opportunity to reconnect, refocus on receiving that guidance and receiving that light. You also get another message here just around, this could just be guidance from your higher self, from God, from source, from soul, from some kind of connection with your guides, with your ancestors. So also know and trust that you don't necessarily have to go to another person to get guidance outside yourself. It can be on the spiritual level as well. All right. Now, my intention with these readings is, of course, to give timeless advice, timeless guidance, deep insight, resonant truths, an opportunity as well for you to connect and reflect. So do make use of those comments below. But something that's super important for me as well, because I always think these are tools to be used. And then as a coach, I like to go deeper, I like to go further. And you probably noticed that throughout the reading, lots of opportunities for reflection, lots of little, insights and activities or frameworks that you can use and apply. That's always my intention. But here at the end, just connecting to, is there anything else from that level of implementation, from that level of, taking action, moving forward, making progress, anything to share with you all here and now? Mm. The cards of guidance and generosity are really shining out to me here. This is very interesting. So take it if it resonates. There are many messages here, so let's just see what's coming up and through. One, with the Nine of Vessels with generosity, this is like a clear message from for many of you, for some of you, for at least one of you, to drink more water and to hydrate. We cannot be taking these massive action and doing this powerful work and progressing on a mind, body, and soul level if we are not looking after our temple and replenishing our supplies. So making sure you're hydrating, make sure you're eating well. It's very important. Like I think sometimes we forget because we live so heavily in our mind that we are also a body. And this isn't necessarily, though it can be, a conversation about the body as a temple. This is more around your body is a living, breathing, sacred expression of your soul, and it requires certain things to function well and to function properly. And whilst our mind can do amazing things, it does even more amazing, more magical, more meaningful things when we are nourished and when we are healthy. If you're feeling like you would like some deeper guidance, also to work with me personally, the guidance card and the generosity card together are just inspiring me to, and this isn't something I normally do. I normally only give discounts to membership members or special offers and deals and stuff like this. But if you're watching this video and you're feeling called to book a reading, you're feeling called to work with me one-to-one, or you're wanting to do a one-to-one package or program, I'm going to offer you a 10%. And simply email me. I'm trying to think the most reliable way for you to get in contact with me is email me. I'll put the information below, contact@nikkywaters.com. Say you watched this video, quote the code GENEROUS, and I'll give you 10% off any of my online services. Yeah, that's where I want to end this today. Thank you so much for joining me. Thank you so much for being open and receptive to these messages. I do feel, because of the way that I read, there is a lot of messages, but also a lot of implementation at each stage. So you may wish to revisit this. So, like, share, subscribe, come back to this, keep it somewhere close so that you can know and trust that that you're doing the work and you're showing up for yourself. This isn't just fluff. This is real deep spiritual work, and you deserve to do it. Thank you, and I'll see you next time.